We usually think planets belong to stars. Earth belongs to the sun. Jupiter belongs to the sun. Even the frozen worlds at the edge of our solar system still move under the control of a star. But the Milky Way may be filled with planets that belong to nothing. No sunrise, no sunset, no season shaped by warmth. Just entire worlds drifting silently through the darkness between solar systems. Astronomers call them rogue planets, and NASA's Romang Space Telescope may soon find hundreds of them. Some may be larger than Earth, some may be nearly invisible, and some may have once had a sun before gravity threw them away forever. This is the story of planets without homes, worlds that were not destroyed, but exiled. Most planets live in families. They orbit a star, receive its light, and remain trapped by its gravity. A star gives a planet more than daylight. It gives rhythm, warmth, seasons, and a place in a system. Rogue planets have none of that. Also known as free-floating planets, they move through the Milky Way alone, untethered to any star and almost impossible to see. They are not simply lost planets. They are worlds without a home. But what could exile an entire planet from its own star? Some rogue planets may have once belonged to young solar systems, much like ours. They may have formed beside other worlds, surrounded by dust, gas, moons, clouds, and perhaps even oceans. For a time, they may have followed a stable orbit under the light of their parent star. But young planetary systems are not always peaceful. In their earliest stages, giant planets can move through unstable orbits, pulling on everything around them with enormous gravitational force. One close encounter with a massive world could change the fate of a smaller planet forever. Gravity could throw it outward, beyond its familiar orbit, beyond the outer frozen worlds, and eventually into interstellar space. At first, its star would still shine behind it. Then the light would weaken. The warmth would fade. The star would shrink into one final point in the distance, until it became just another cold spark in the sky. The planet was not destroyed. It was exiled. Without a sun, its surface could freeze beneath a permanent night. Oceans, if they ever existed, might become trapped under kilometers of solid ice. The sky itself could begin to die. Depending on the planet's size and composition, its atmosphere could grow thin, collapse, or freeze onto the surface. From space, such a world might appear completely dead. But does darkness always mean death? Deep inside the planet, heat left over from its formation could remain. Radioactive elements within its rocky interior might continue producing energy for billions of years. In theory, enough internal heat beneath a thick insulating shell of ice could allow liquid water to survive far below the surface. That does not mean life exists there. No such life has ever been detected. But it raises a haunting possibility. A world could lose its sun without losing every environment where liquid water might survive. Somewhere in the darkness, a hidden ocean could be sealed beneath ice, crossing the galaxy without sunlight, without seasons, and without ever being seen. But how do you find a world that produces almost no light? You do not look for the planet itself. You look for what its gravity does. When a rogue planet passes almost perfectly in front of a distant background star, its gravity bends and magnifies the star's light. For a short time, that background star appears brighter. Then the brightness returns to normal. This phenomenon is called gravitational microlensing. The planet does not reveal itself by glowing. It reveals itself by warping space. These flashes can be extremely brief. Depending on the planet's mass, a microlensing signal may last only a few hours, or roughly a day. Astronomers must be watching the right part of the sky at exactly the right moment. Once the alignment ends, The planet continues moving through the darkness, perhaps never to be detected again. That is where NASA's Nancy Grace Ramang Space Telescope comes in. Ramang is designed to observe enormous fields of stars near the crowded center of the Milky Way. Instead of studying only one star at a time, it will repeatedly monitor the light from hundreds of millions of stars, searching for tiny and temporary changes in brightness. Each brief flash could mark the passage of an invisible world. One scientific study suggests Roman could discover around 400 rogue planets with masses similar to Earth. Not 4, not 40. Around 400 possible Earth mass worlds traveling through the galaxy without a sun. And those would be only the planets whose paths happen to create a detectable alignment during Ramang's observations. The true population could be far larger. Every discovery would be more than another point on a map. Rogue planets may be survivors of ancient planetary violence. Their numbers could reveal how often solar systems become unstable, how frequently giant planets throw smaller worlds away, and how many planets have been separated from the stars that created them. Our own solar system appears calm today, but its earliest years were likely far more chaotic. The existence of large numbers of rogue planets would remind us that planetary systems are not permanent. Orbits can change, worlds can collide, and planets can be condemned to wander forever. If planets without stars are common, then how many worlds has the galaxy already lost? Ramang may detect many of these planets only once, as a brief distortion in the light of a distant star. We may never photograph their surfaces. We may never see their frozen skies. We may never learn which stars they once orbited, or what happened during the moment they were thrown away. For a few hours, gravity will reveal that they exist. Then the signal will fade. The distant star will return to normal, and the planet will disappear into the darkness again, continuing a journey that may last for billions of years. Somewhere between the stars, countless worlds may already be moving through the Milky Way in complete silence. No sunrise, no home, no one watching them. At least not yet. How many are still out there?